the award they so justly deserve.
To say, not? Are you ready? Sorry. These people, for the most part, are decent people, and they must be rescued from the horrors of slumdom. In this great task I need your help. I hope shortly to lay before Parliament a bill which will launch a great attack upon slums and overcrowding and inaugurate a final war of conquest over indecent, humiliating and disgraceful housing conditions. I believe that the local authorities will throw themselves into this work, but local authorities and the government must look to you to carry this measure into practical effect.
The leader of the National Liberals, Sir Herbert Samuel, attends for nomination at Darwin, where he is opposed by a Conservative, Captain Adam.
It is an election in which the people are asked to put country above party. None of us are surrendering our opinions. We are cooperating with the Prime Minister as independent parties on the issues as stated by him for the sake of the country as a whole.
Yes, oh, this is straight back. We didn't know that till this morning, though, did we? No. We're not disappointed about that either, are we?
We always settle things very pleasantly in Epping. We are going to settle them very pleasantly this time. And we're going to settle them the right way, once again.
They're worrying about their own pensions, not about you or your daily bread. It is only by putting new life in the present system or getting a new scientific government that can save Britain of a knockout that may keep on the floor for many years or may break her up altogether. The new party's policy is a British policy, first of all. It is no use waiting for the world to fall in line. We must put England first. To obtain a fair chance of battling depression, we must first put the ropes round the ring to assure fair play. This is done by our scheme. The patent medicine on tariffs cannot either. Our policy includes commodity boards on a scheme of scientific protection, under which essential industries can become secured. I don't mean a one-sided security, but a security for the manufacturer to get a fair return on his business, or the lack of system of a House of Commons, that if your man gets there, he's not tied to tail by a worn-out machine, or told by his party to block the roads of a new machine. Whether this is the right way or not, we believe in action straight lines. You may be probably fed up with politics, as they are today, but if you're Labour, Liberal or Tory gets into Parliament, the situation will be the same. I entirely agree with you.
Do not allow them to stampede you in this election by windy platitudes. We policy on its merits to examine those policies with the cool and calm brain of the scientists. And when you have examined those policies, above all when you have examined the new party policy and seen that that policy is a realist policy, a policy based on business methods, a policy designed for the reconstruction of British industry, and by that reconstruction the absorption of the 3 million unemployed who are upon the scrap heap today. That he gets onto the job, that he takes his coat off and gets down to the work and puts the policy you have commanded him to put into action immediately into effect. We have seen government after government take office in this country, and we have seen them come to the electorate with promises that they will do this or that for the benefit of the British people. And what have they done, my friends? They have sat back and allowed this country to drift into chaos. And now they have come to you, the poorest of the poor, and ask you to pay for their mistakes. Therefore we say to you that when you have elected your government, see to it that that government...
I do not want to alarm you, my friends, but most of you who know me, who've been connected with me in the past, know that I'm not a scaremonger. It is because I know the way we, in this neighbourhood, while feeling the present depression, I call your attention to the need for immediate action. The trouble today is the result of applying worn-out methods to new problems.
Okay.
Another procession. Those of us who send by the courtesy of the British Movietone News, I am speaking this morning not only to this large audience, but to thousands of people who will be seeing the pictures next week. And I want specially to say a word or two of the 19 candidates who have been nominated by the Independent Labour Party. Those candidates have been asked to give a pledge that they will never vote in the House of Commons against the instructions of the party whip. On certain occasions in the last Parliament, we voted against the whip, and we have no apology to make for that action. We voted against
of the May Committee, which has now recommended the cuts on the unemployed, on the social services, on the teachers, the policemen, the soldiers, and the sailors, and whose recommendations, if they go still further, must mean a reduction of wages all round. We would do exactly the same thing under similar circumstances, and we cannot possibly give a pledge that would stop us from doing that. Down to 15 shillings and threepence a week. But the super tax fare, while the unemployed are cut 10%, are only cut by 3.5%. That is not equality of sacrifice. That is making the poorest of the poor pay most in the interests of the richest of the rich. We want you to go with anger and with indignation against those cuts. We ask you to go to vote for the positive and the creative purpose of establishing a new system of society based on fellowship, based on freedom, based on justice, in which poverty will be wiped out and in which the danger of war will be removed.
That'll be enough.